In this lesson, we'll cover walkthroughs. So a walkthrough is a way you can actually show your customer or client a 3D view or an image, a walkthrough of your actual building. Basically, it's almost as if the building was built and you were walking through it, looking at that actual structure. To create a walkthrough, we would first go to a floor plan. Now currently we're looking at a crop view of floor 2, and we're going to define a walkthrough. Now, there's already a walkthrough created, so let's take a look at it first and how to modify that walkthrough. So in your project browser in the lower left, if you scroll down, you're going to see a group called walkthroughs, and there's walkthrough 1. Right-click walkthrough 1 and click Show Camera. That walkthrough will now be visible in this view. It's actually the blue line. If you mouse over the blue line, you can see it's the camera walkthrough 1. Click Edit Walkthrough in the upper right. Now when I click Edit Walkthrough, the actual camera path changes and you see several symbols. The blue line is the path, the red dots are keyframes, and the camera is the current position of the frame, and the dot at the very end is the point you're looking at or your target. You can actually hold the left mouse button down on the camera, drag it keyframe to keyframe. You can drag the actual target or change it to the different position for what you're looking at. So you can adjust your actual frame and target through the video even after you've created it. You can also adjust and change the active camera from the actual properties area on the left. Now to see the walkthrough and what this walkthrough looks like, click Open Walkthrough on your ribbon. This will open the walkthrough view. Set the frame to 0. We'll start at the first frame. Then with the frame set to 0, we'll actually start to play the walkthrough. If your ribbon changes, click the Edit Walkthrough tab all the way to the right on the ribbon. Then click Play on the ribbon to play the animation. This is the animation as it's laid out by the camera path, the camera, and the target of what you're looking at as you're walking. Again, anything can be modified. The camera, the number of keyframes, the speed, the actual wide angle or depth or angle of view for the camera. Now, once we've completed this walkthrough, we'll go back and create a new walkthrough. So if I'm done with the walkthrough, just click in the white background on the outside of the view and say, yes, we're done editing. And then close this view in the upper right. This will take us back to the actual 2D plan. Now to create a walkthrough, let's go to the View tab, go to the 3D View dropdown, and click Walkthrough. The first thing you want to do is set the offset on the options bar. The offset is your eye level. How high above the current floor, floor 2, do you want to look? I'm going to set this at about 1800 millimeters, roughly about 5'9". Now, your next step is to simply click points that would represent keyframes for where you would walk through this space. So I'm just going to start to click. And as I click, I'm seeing the actual depth and target of what I'm looking at. And I'm just going to click as I go through the space, making sure I'm not going to click any columns or run into a column. And then when I'm done clicking for my actual path on the ribbon, click Finish Walkthrough. This will create the walkthrough, and you can see the blue path for the walkthrough itself. Now, if you want to edit the walkthrough, the cameras, and the target, click Edit Walkthrough on the ribbon. Now that you're in the Edit Walkthrough, you can actually drag the camera to one of the keyframes and then adjust the target to what you're actually looking at by holding the left mouse button down and simply dragging the target to its new position. So here I can adjust the actual camera position and the target for my complete walkthrough. Now over on the left are the properties of the walkthrough. You have the detail level, you have the visibility, you have your graphics settings. You also have the name of the walkthrough as well. You can clip the region or not clip the region and set how far in depth you want to view. You can also set the rendering settings if you want this image rendered when you're walking through the space. And you can set the number of frames, in this case from 300 to something different. Click Cancel. Now, to play the walkthrough after you have adjusted this, I can click Open Walkthrough. This will open the walkthrough. Now, right now, I may be looking at a wireframe, so I want to change this. So on the view bar on the bottom, I'll click Visual Styles, and I'll change it to Shaded. Now, I'm also still seeing some analytical data. That's the little lines of different colors. So what I can do is change the visibility graphics. In the property area on the left, click Edit to the right of Visibility Graphics, go to the Analytical Model categories, and uncheck mark Show Analytical Model Categories in this view. Click OK. Now, let's play our walkthrough. This will play our walkthrough as we currently defined it, walking through our space. Now, after the walkthrough is played, we can go back to Edit mode to edit our walkthrough. To get back to the edit mode, simply click outside of the actual window, click Yes, we're done editing this view, and then close the view in the upper right. This will take us back to our 2D representation. Now, to edit the walkthrough, scroll down in your project browser to Walkthrough 2, right-click, Show Camera, select the walkthrough, and click Edit Walkthrough. Now we're back to the Edit Walkthrough mode, and we can actually start to, again, edit this walkthrough. Once done, you can open the walkthrough and then play the animation again. So as a review, in this lesson, we covered walkthroughs. We looked at an existing walkthrough, how to adjust the camera, and how to adjust the target. From there, we actually created a walkthrough by clicking points, defining key frames, adjusting the camera, and adjusting the target. Then, when viewing the animation of the walkthrough, we adjusted the visibility graphics of the view to include shaded elements and not to include analytical elements by modifying the visibility graphics.